Hare Krishna, everyone. False ego nurse. That's one aspect, or important aspect of the job descriptions for the wife and mother. But not only for the wife and mother. Right. We'll discover now the wife also needs a false ego nurse. And let's be clear about it. Right to start with, who it is not. It is not the husband. The husband is the reason the wife needs a false ego nurse. Well, not quite. It's her false ego, obviously. But who triggers her false ego? It's the husband and it's the children. It's two roles, for the lady in the Grihasta Ashrama. It's the wife and the mother. So there are two roles, there are two triggers for the false ego. The husband and the children. Right? So the husband cannot be the nurse. It's clear. He's the cause of the injury. Again, it's the false ego, but, the tree's the trigger. So he cannot be the nurse for her. So who is her nurse? Well, she doesn't have only one, because her job is so difficult and important in society. She can have as many nurses as she can have close personal confidential relationships with. Well, traditionally, the nurses are the mother, grandmothers, aunties, any senior family relationships, maybe even in a spiritual culture, you have then senior devotees who act as mentors or something like that. But traditionally, it's the senior family members. They are the nurses. They have all the knowledge. They have all the knowledge how to deal with those different situations because they know it all. They can help and encourage the wife. Just, you're doing well. When the wife comes, to the mother or her grandmother. My husband is, he just never says thank you and this, and I feel he doesn't care and this and that. Then they tell her, don't worry. The first 10 years, right? The first 10 years of your marriage, it will be yes, Prabhu, yes, Pati, yes, Prabhu, yes, Pati, and then the rest of your life it will be yes, Devi, yes, Devi, yes, Devi. You're only married for 5 years. Men are slow, give him time. That's all which is needed. And it can be the mother, the grandmother, aunties. That's the traditional nurses. And on top of that, there are the Sakhis as well. Her friends. They also have a nursing aspect there. But they may also be married, they may also struggle, so their exchanges will be on a different level. It's about, I understand, I'm feeling the same. And they exchange each other about what their nurses tell them, right? And they help each other, so they're also having another nursing relationship, so to say, right? So ladies are not just the nurses, the false ego nurses for their husband, for their children. No, they're also the false ego nurses for each other. So that's what mother actually means. It's a mother for everyone, not just for the man, for the husband, not just for the children. It's even for her friends, for all the juniors. Obviously, a young girl isn't the nurse for the older senior lady, right? But that's the great role. of women actually. We can see then how much the purification of false ego within society actually depends on the lady's side. This encouraging, nursing, putting the band-aid on so we continue in our prescribed duties. The wife needs the nurses to encourage her, just keep on doing what you're doing. You're doing well. And the husband needs the wife as the nurse, just so he goes back out into battle again. The children need their mother as the nurse, false ego nurse, so they learn how to cope with all, with all those issues, and become emotionally strong and have a good foundation for the rest of their lives. So that's such an important role of the ladies, being the false ego nurse to each other and to the husband and to the children. And we can already now maybe sense what an important role that is in human society. I do believe that's enough for now. We can digest that and we will unpack it a little more. That aspect of false ego nurse. What is required to be able to play that role? Consequences of not being able to play that role. But more importantly, what is required? A big secret. A big open secret. It's not very confidential, that secret, but open secret. And then we expand that not just for the individual relationships, right? But we're going to expand it on the entire human society. The great role women are meant to play and how to play that role. And it's so, on a practical level at least, very, very easy. It's so not rocket science. Absolutely not. And it's such a great and important role. Have a break from listening. If the next video is already up, just listen to your heart and give yourself during that presentation time to process it actually. Such a great role. And so much reward actually in that role. But we will discover that more. And I thank you so much for your kind attention. And I'm looking forward to continue soon. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.